Yo, if you think getting on a plane and going to a different country is gonna make you happy, I got a bridge in New York City I want to sell you. All right, y'all. I know what y'all gonna say, man. Why you always so negative about travel? Who are you, the fun police? No, I'm just saying, brothers. Like, don't get me wrong. Living overseas is fun as hell. You know what I mean? But only if you try to find. Well, I ain't gonna say try. You find happiness within yourself. I done seen too many brothers come over here overseas and expect the same reality that they see on YouTube. You know what I mean? They end up heartbroken, by a street worker. They end up broke, rubbing two pennies together, looking crazy. So I want to share, my thoughts, my experiences on happiness. This brother right here, let's talk about it. I believe he's in America and all that, but I'm gonna play a couple clips and correlate that to living overseas. But before I do that, man, please, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. I'm trying to grow my channel. I appreciate it.
Man, I tried everything to be happy. It took me years to figure this out. I'm 50 years old. And one thing I realized about trying to be happy is the first problem that a lot of us do is we convince ourselves that we're not happy. Like, why would you convince yourself that you're not happy? If you stop convincing yourself that you're not happy, then you'll have a easier life, an easier time being happy.
That's a very powerful statement. Most people spend their lives going, I'll be happy when I retire. I'll be happy when I buy my first home. I'll be happy when I leave America. And the only problem with that is, in my opinion, is you postpone your happiness. You're not living in the now. You know, this life ain't guaranteed, you know what I mean? So I've learned to appreciate and enjoy your life as it stands right now. But this is where I think, living overseas is misunderstood.
A lot of things to fix the pain, you know, to convince myself that I could be happy. None of that stuff worked because there's no real happiness if it's just temporarily. When I want happiness, I want to really be happy. Like, I want permanent happiness. I don't want to be happy for a moment and then go right back to convincing myself that I'm not happy. See, I experienced that when I used drugs for happiness, getting high all day. I felt like I wasn't in my right mind if I didn't roll up. Once I roll up, smoke, now I'm happy. See, that's not happiness. Bruh, that's high. You know what I'm saying? Running to alcohol. I feel like I could be bored as hell, right? Bored as hell. Sitting right here on this porch, doing nothing. Just watching things. Like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I could still see the moon at 7 o'clock in the morning. And there was a red robin on my trash can over there, right above this chair right here. That's not my trash can, that's my neighbor's trash can. But it was a red robin on there, right? I tried to grab my camera and film it, and it flew away. But I'm hearing birds chirping, and I'm saying, damn, like, I feel like this is happiness to me now. Consider taking things into consideration. So you gotta know where you've been. You gotta appreciate where you've been. You gotta appreciate the way your life used to be.
So dopamine is not happiness, man. You know, whether it's drugs, whether it's women. You know, some guys they actually they bounce around different countries looking for that dopamine hit. For me, personally, when I was in Thailand, I had an issue with women. So for me, it was this. It was you know, I would have a girlfriend. Well, put that in air quotes for Thailand purposes, but I would have a girlfriend for about 2 3 months, and I would change them out because I wasn't happy enough. You know what I mean? The shit wore off. The dopamine wore off, and I'm not proud of that because I broke a lot of hearts. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but there is really no thing of such thing about hearts. But I did break, I would say, two hearts. I'm not proud of that, but I'm just saying that because most guys who watching me from Thailand understand what I'm talking about. Most women in Thailand um, is working. They have a still they have a still heart. So anyway, that was my issue, the women in Thailand. Um, it wasn't really until I got here to to appreciate my life as it stands right now.
Most of it is escaping the rat race. You feel me? Like a lot of us are in the rat race. Like a lot of people need material items to make them happy. You know, they feeling a little down. They don't feel like themselves. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you can keep up with it, if you can keep up with material things to make yourself happy, then be happy for the rest of your life. You know, I encourage people to do whatever it takes to make yourself happy because we all should be happy. But just make sure it's real happiness.
Yeah, that rat race is no joke. I remember when I was in America and had multiple cars, Audi, BMW. But I used to always sit in my car driving to work or driving somewhere and think about like, man, there's got to be more to life than this. This ain't it. You know what I mean? I give all this shit away in a heartbeat. Um, but you have to be careful too. Like overseas is it's America is a microcosm of like the whole world. Like everybody is kind of like in the same kind of like rat race in their own respects. But for me, I found myself kind of in a rat race overseas as well. Thailand, you know, it's like you know everybody's vying for the baddest chick or the girl with the fat ass, the fattest ass. You know what I mean? So it's all kind of like a rat race. It's just more subtle overseas. So you got to be mindful of that too, brothers.
You know, a lot of people they run to the barber shop in the salons. You know, women get their hair done because they're not feeling themselves. You know, they need a new hairdo. And us guys, we do it too. Like, damn, my shit buffing, man. I'm looking in the mirror, you don't even like what you see. So you run to the barber shop and, you know, you get shaped up, get a haircut. And that barber, you know, when he, you know what I mean, smack that towel on you, be like, you're done. Give you that mirror, you're looking in that mirror. You're like, yeah, I'm brand new. I'm happy again. But truthfully, we gotta learn to be happy when we look in that mirror in the bathroom of our house instead of looking in the barber mirror. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you be happy with that rough look? You know what I mean? The rough look is actually a look. You know what I mean? But some people look at the rough look as, man, you need to go get groomed up. But some people are happy with the way that they are, with the way that they look. Like you see somebody and they like to wear the type of clothes that's considered thrifty, you know? They go to the thrift store and they buy their clothes. But a lot of us that's in the rat race, you know, we got to go to the mall. We do a lot of online shopping, you know, buying the latest gear. I'm a victim of it. I ain't gonna lie. I got a whole lot of freaking polo. I got polo this and polo that. And I feel like, I'll be honest with you, I haven't bought no polo in a while. I feel like I'm about due for some new polo. I ain't gonna lie. But I feel like I needed polo to make me happy. And there's nothing wrong with that, like I said. if you can keep up with it, you know? Because true happiness ain't your clothes. True happiness ain't the car that you buy. You know, a lot of us going broke just to convince ourselves that we're happy. I got a Nissan Altima out there, a 2016, that's still running. And all of a sudden, I feel like I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy anymore. I'm not happy. I'm a new car. So basically, I goes out and I buy me a new car, and I feel better. But I realize that what you did, bro, ain't no different from what you've been doing. You know, when you got 10 pairs of sneakers in the closet and you feel like you need another pair of sneakers. That's the same thing that I did when I bought my new vehicle. I mean, I kind of feel happy, but it's sad the things that we do to make ourselves happy.
Yeah, I'm a victim of clothes too. I like to be dippy, you know. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, like the man said. But yeah, you know, one thing I've noticed about living overseas is like the flex is kind of the same. You know, luxury apartment, luxury condo, bad bitch, clothes. You know, it's kind of the same. It's just a lot less expensive. Um, so just be mindful of that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with having these things, you know what I mean? But just don't let that be the reason why you're happy. Like because you can lose that shit, you know what I'm saying, tomorrow, you know, point blank. Um, people have, you know, they bring over the same habits, just different country, you know what I mean?
You was probably living somewhere where your rent was halfway decent, you know? You ain't have a whole lot of overhead, bills, you're making good money, you're in a position where you could save, you're in a position where you could invest. And what do? For some reason, you're not happy with that. You want to go and move in a high rise luxury apartment, you know, because status is important to you. Where you live, the neighborhood you live at is important to you. So now you're willing to put yourself in a jam and cause stress, financial stress in your life, especially if you didn't budget everything out correctly, just to make yourself happy, only to find out that you're not happy. Because when you base happiness on things like that, it never ends. See, you think that you're gonna go down this one road and accomplish these few goals, and that's gonna make you happy for life. But everything gets old.
Yeah, true statement. Like I was saying before, status follows you overseas too. Everybody's gonna be comparing, you know, how much money you got, um, how fat your girl's ass is, how pretty she is, um, how many followers you have. All that BS still happens overseas, man. It's just their environment, your country change. That's it. But it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? If you allow yourself to fall towards that crowd, then you know what I mean. You gotta deal with it. You know.
You know, happiness is not about finances. A lot of people think I got to have this money in order for me to be happy. You ain't happy with the money, bro. Because as soon as you get the money, you ain't gonna run out of things to spend your money on. It's things all over this world that you don't have that you like and you feel like you got to have it. You ain't gonna be happy. I've seen people in poverty be more happier than people that have a decent life. You understand? I know people that's living upper class and something just don't seem right about their life. And I could take a ride right now and go back to the trenches, and I could show you some of the happiest people I've ever seen in my life. Waking up in the morning, to you, shit all fucked up in their life, but to them, they're happy because they understand life better than you. And you should try to, you know, think outside of the box. You know what I mean? Think about your blessings. Think about what's really important. and you'll find true happiness.
Yeah, this is probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned living overseas. I met people with very little, with genuine smiles. I met people with six-figure incomes and always complaining and shit. Money does not equal happiness, bro. It doesn't automatically make life, you know what I'm saying, like meaningful.
I'm telling you, because life is too short for you to be anything other than happy with yourself. Look at the serenity prayer, man. Like I say this all the time, I still can't quote that damn prayer, but I know this. I could ask God to help me change the things that I could change, and the things that I can't change, don't worry about it, and have the wisdom to know the difference. You know what I'm saying? When you got wisdom, wisdom is applying the knowledge, and if you knew better, you would do better. You know what it takes to be happy. Make yourself happy. Stop hanging out with those people that you're hanging out with, and stop competing with those people, because you're probably going to be competing with them for a long time, and you might not ever become the winner, and then you're just going to feel like a loser. Be happy with yourself. Stop trying to be in the in crowd. You know what I mean? You don't have to associate yourself with them over there because of how they are. Embrace how you are with your weird ass. You know what I'm saying? Make it okay to be weird. Make it okay. Like, people think that you weird. Make being weird cool.
Facts. This is where maturity comes into play. You stop seeking validation from people who don't give a fuck about you. Um, you stop worrying about proving yourself to people who don't give a fuck about you. And the crazy part is that's when life starts to get better. At least for me, that's the case.
You know what I'm saying? And the way that I am is the way that I'm supposed to be. Have some self-esteem. Build your self-esteem up. You know what I'm saying? Encourage yourself to love yourself. Love the shit that you into, the things that you like, the little food that you like to cook, the meals, the way you prep your meals, the way you season your food. You know what I'm saying? Find value in everything that you do. And if somebody don't understand you, then that's okay. You're not meant for everybody to understand you anyway. The only thing that's important is that you're happy with yourself. It took me a long time to realize what true happiness is, and I'm glad I found it. I'm glad I found it, and I hope you find it in you.
So that's it, man. Very powerful message from my guy. Let's talk about it. For me personally, my reality check is this: moving overseas did not make me happy. It just simply removed distractions from me, for me to actually appreciate what I already have. You know, freedom, happiness. I'm surrounded by those who want to be surrounded by me. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it, man. I hope you guys got something from the video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. 100.